The following podcast is not real, but it is a valued member of the the Earwolf Network. And it's sponsored by Cards Against Humanity. If you want to send a care package to the world of Foon, the easiest way is to send it to Cards Against Humanity, 1917 North Elston, Chicago, Illinois 60642, care of ARNIE NIEKAMP, Vermilion Minotaur, Town of Hogsface, Land of Foon. And then the cards people will get it to them somehow. Maybe send them a guide about how to have a multiple episode arc that doesn't feel like an act of artistically bankrupt desperation. Or a muffin. Enjoy the show.
Hello from the Magic Tavern, a weekly podcast from the magical land of Foon. I'm your host, ARNIE NIEKAMP, and I usually do the intro part, but Sean, why don't you do it today?
About a year and some change ago, this guy, one of my best friends, fell through a magical portal.
Portal?
Fuck you, dude. Fell behind a magical portal behind a Burger King and into the magical, fantastical land of Foon.
He fell through a portal, not behind one.
What did I say? Welcome to the Magic Tavern, a podcast.
That's not the name of the show.
What did I say?
Tavern. Chunt, what's going on? Are you...
I'm a little hungover.
I
was out with my insane crown posse, baby.
Oh.
Well.
Yeah, bad boys.
That's right. So, Chunt, you are the king of the badgers, and you started hanging out with some of the other animal kings.
I hang out with the king of the horses. I hang out with the king of the ottermen. And we call ourselves the insane crown posse because we're all three kings, baby. Three kings are we.
Yeah. You just caused trouble around Hogsface, it seems like.
Yeah, with bad boys.
You know what? You just had a near-death experience, so if you just need to kind of let off some steam, I get it. Totally.
Thank you.
We're also joined by our, dare I say it, more responsible co-host.
I am Usador, and over 5 weeks ago, Arnold fell through a magical portal behind the Burger Potentate's castle, and then was transported here into the land of Foon. Aye, and every day, though he is surrounded by danger and evil and dark evil dealings, he doth contend and insists that he send missives back to his home world of Earth, where perhaps his sweet baby daughter and wife may hear him and be returned into his arms someday.
Now that's an intro.
Yeah. But Usador, how you been, buddy? You haven't been around much this week.
Oh, yes, very busy.
Usador's a wizard, for new listeners.
Yes, traveling all over Foon, gathering bits of information, uncovering lost runes within deep, dusty libraries. I bought a bed and breakfast for a weekend too.
You bought a bed and breakfast?
No, I bought a room at
a room.
Yes, I was hoping. I was talking to Jen Levy. I'm like, I feel not busy. You should just stop by the bed and breakfast, and we'll have a nice weekend together.
You're in a long distance relationship with the wizard Jen Levy.
Yes, she and I meet on the astral plane where we
do some astral play.
long distance dating. Yes, and she's often dismissive towards me, but I think she's coming round. So I did go there, and she did come. She joined me at the. What? What is wrong with you? What is wrong with you?
Nothing. Just having some fun. Bad boys.
She did arrive.
How many times did she arrive?
She arrived at the bed and breakfast 3 times in a row.
Mm-hmm.
Once she appeared.
You sure one wasn't like a fake arrival?
Once she appeared as a unicorn, and I was like, oh, Jen Levy, I believe that's you. And she transformed herself, flew into the sky, returned to the earth as a phoenix, was burned into dust and naught, and then took her normal human form.
Wow, that's an entrance that's like lightning shooting out of the ground into the sky and then back down to hit somebody.
It's a lot like that.
Wow. So I'm so excited. You finally had your romantic weekend with Jen Levy.
Yes, we had a romantic weekend together, and then early Sunday morning, we knew the weekend was coming to an end, and I went and I did throw some water on my face from the water basin, and when I did return to the other room, Jen Levy was gone, and all that was left behind was a rack of ribs. She'd been a rack of ribs the whole time. I don't know where she was. She fooled me again. She is such an amazing wizard.
I don't understand. I don't really.
She clearly, what's not to understand? She clearly sent a rack of ribs in her place, disguised it as her, and I spent a weekend with a rack of ribs.
Oh, okay. How you feeling about that?
Well, I had a good time.
Hey, that's good. You had a good time. It's important to focus on that.
Next, it'll be my turn to pull a prank on her.
Oh, I'm excited to hear about it. Do you have anything cooking? Like ribs?
No, I am going to bide my time until I know exactly how I trick her next. Aye, for this is the way that wizards do court one another, by impressing each other with more and more impressive tricks.
Sure. Yeah.
You'll get your baby back.
I will get my baby back.
Get your baby back, baby
Get my
back.
baby back.
Baby
Ribs,
back.
you said?
Oh,
She
ribs.
turned into ribs?
Ribs.
My week, thank you for asking, guys.
How was
has
your
been
week?
Good. I've been continuing to try to get the lunar sword, getting a little bit deeper into the dungeon. Things are getting a little harder. A lot of stalactites. I always get them confused. Which ones? Stalactites hang down, right?
Stalactites hold tight to the ceiling.
Yeah, so the stalactite, the last
And
stalactite.
stalagmites might reach to the ceiling.
Yeah, there's a lot of parts of the dungeon where just stalactites fall. But they fall sort of like you can track when they're going to fall.
But once they fall, they're down on the ground.
Yes, but then there's another one right after it.
What? Those take years to form.
I know, but they're just constantly falling. And then I come back, and you know what? They're the same ones are back, and they fall again.
No, that's not how geology works.
So you're still looking for the lunar sword. Do you have spinning your wheels on Earth?
Yes, we do. But I'm getting deeper into the dungeon. I feel like I'm just about to get past the boring stuff.
Have you noticed that most of the things you've encountered aren't even another person, but just some part of the environment that you seem afraid of?
Yeah.
Speaking of getting past the boring stuff, who's our guest today?
That's a good question. Hey, guys, this is exciting. You know, I know it's been a weird time in Foon. There's a lot of sort of political upheaval and
Turmoil.
And so I thought it would be good to talk to another bit of royalty besides you, King of the Badgers.
Thank you.
We're going to talk to the Queen of the Goblins.
Ooh.
Yes, hello. Hi, I'm the Goblin Queen. My name is Fibromyalgia.
Fibromyalgia.
Yes.
The Goblin Queen.
Well, yeah, some call me a queen, some call me a shrew, you know.
Oh, wow.
Rose by any other name.
What's it like being Queen of the Goblins?
I gotta tell you, it's rough. I don't come to taverns, every day.
Sure.
But this week has been especially
It's been a tough
difficult
week.
for me. Yes.
You're
yes.
lucky this is the day of the week that goblins are allowed inside the Vermilion Minotaur. It's not a nice thing that they're only allowed in one day out of the week.
Well, it's kind of my fuck you to the system, to just show up on the one day where they allow us there. It's like, yeah, I'll be there, and
That's
I'm
your
going to
fuck you.
bring my horde. Yeah,
That's your fuck you to the system.
'Cause
It's
they
like,
don't
fuck
want
you.
us there
I'm coming
anyway.
in. I'm coming on the day I am allowed in.
It's well known throughout the land that the Goblin Queen gives 0 fucks.
Give 0 fucks.
that is true. Yes.
Wow.
Yes. I started that phrase, giving 0 fucks.
Giving
no
zero.
No one had said that before me.
Wow.
Yes.
Before that, people have been like, boy, I give about 3 fucks.
Yeah. Well, that's what fibromyalgia does to you. You start to give a ton of fucks after a while. But
Sure.
Fibro.
I feel like I'm focusing too much on the fucks.
No.
No, this podcast should be called Focusing on the Fucks. I just like that you undersold the number of fucks. It's like, name that tune of fucks. I can give 0 fucks.
Butthole Weekly.
What? What?
Thinking about the names for the podcast. Fibro.
yeah. Weekly, but how is weekly spelled?
W-E-A-K.
I see.
Fibro. May I call you Fibro?
Yes, why not? Everyone does.
Your Majesty, I just wondered, as the Queen of the Goblins, surely you have some sway to come to peace with the elves. The main reason that there is a spell over this tavern that doth keep goblins out is that elves and goblins tend to not get along, which I do not agree with. But you could broker some peace between goblins and elves.
I mean, I would be the first one at that peace treaty signing. I have to tell you that, Usador. It's not the goblins.
That's
okay?
wonderful news to
It's
hear.
not the goblins. It's the elves.
It's the elves.
It's the elves. They're uppity, and
Oh.
they just have this attitude.
Are you allowed to say that about elves?
I said fuck several times a
That's
little
true.
bit ago.
That is
I don't
true.
think,
That is true.
But they are. They're so condescending, and they think they're so much better than everyone.
Sure.
And You know, that might be true. They might be better than us, but they don't need to rub it in our faces.
Just because they're a beautiful race with an amazing poetic language doesn't mean they're any better than you horrible monsters that live underground.
Exactly.
I will admit that elves can come off a bit haughty at times, but if I can help broker this peace, I would be glad to. May I take your words, your sweet and kind words, back to Helicanteth,
Helicanteth.
Yes, the king of the elves.
Oh, wow. How do you spell that?
HELACANTH''ETHNTH.
Oh, wow.
You've never entered a contest?
Usador, I would love it if you could get it in touch with Helicanteth and tell him, you know, that we need to end this feud. It's meaningless.
That is good news.
Yeah.
Usador is an ally of the goblins, if I remember correctly. He hates the orcs, though.
Oh, I hate orcs.
Oh, well, who doesn't? I mean, you have to draw a line somewhere.
Right, thank you.
Absolutely.
Usador, what do the goblins know you as?
The goblins know me as Chellin-Kang-Kang. Right?
That's correct, Jalankankai.
Yeah.
Yes.
Checks out.
So, Your Majesty, you said his...
You know, I don't call me Your Majesty.
Oh, okay.
It's just I don't even deserve that title. It should have gone to my older sister. I shouldn't even be. Just anyway.
What happened? How did you come to power?
Well, my older sister, Encephaly, was supposed to take over, you know, the lineage. She was supposed to wear the crown on her dainty, you know, deformed skull.
Sure.
And she couldn't do it because literally the crown was just too heavy and her skull was too weak.
Oh, what? Like when they put it... Did they try to put it on?
They put it on and it went right down, I'll tell you. It was something to see.
Oh.
But
Did she survive?
oh no.
I'm so sorry.
You know, that's okay because I don't know, little known fact, goblins can actually be brought back to life.
No.
Yes.
I never knew that.
That is true. So we did bring her back to life and she begged us. She's like, please put me out of my misery. Stop bringing me back to life.
yeah.
I'm so unhappy. And we just kept bringing her back. And she just never was the same after
Sure,
that, you know?
yeah.
So I took over as the queen.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, but you don't feel like you're a good queen?
I just don't really know what I'm doing out there, you know? I feel like
I appreciate your honesty.
I could be a school teacher. I could do so many other things,
Yeah.
you know? I love children. I've had them twice. I've eaten kids on separate occasions, and I've enjoyed it. But
So much child death.
so much child death, and
Yeah.
also not enough at the same time. It's so interesting, but
It's like you're sad about it, but also you're hungry.
Can I ask something?
Yin and yang.
Yeah.
I know, just since I have you here, Queen, there's a thing that lives in Foon. His name's the Gronch. And I don't know what he is.
Uh-huh.
He's kind of this green guy. He's kind of hairy.
Yeah.
He's a mean thing.
Does he have a name?
The Gronch.
The Gronch.
Just the Gronch.
Yeah. Have you seen him?
No. Well, I think I've seen two different things that I think might be the Gronch, and I'm curious which way it's going. Which one it is?
I'm just curious if he's a goblin or what he is, because
He sounds like a looker to me. I mean, green and covered in hair, and
but his heart is like the size of like a pea.
yeah, that's what I'm looking for in a man most of the time. Yeah, just a pea-sized heart, pea-sized brain, and a pea-sized pea. If you know what I'm
Really?
talking
It's like
about.
all
Yeah.
small.
all small, all the time. I'm into that. I'm into
Sure.
miniatures. I have a collection at home. Yeah.
A collection of
Of
miniature.
miniatures. I do. I have a miniature Foon actually set out.
Wow. Foon?
Foon. I have a miniature
You have
Foon.
miniature Nick Foon?
Yeah, a Nick Foon in Foon.
Uh-huh.
Foon in Foon in a monsoon. It's the setting I have going on right now, but I switch it up. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, you know, when I got here, one of the things that was in my Camry was a Nick Foon stand-up album, and it seems to have become really popular in Foon.
Why do you think he's caught on and you haven't?
It's a good question.
Oh.
It's a good question. I won't be appreciated until after I'm dead.
Usador, would you mind
Soon enough.
giving the queen a gift, maybe a miniature to add to her collection? Do you have a horse?
Oh, I would love that. I don't have a horse. It's so weird because I have all of Foon and there are no horses in the entire city, so I would love a horse.
Careth Terenteth. Bing!
Oh.
I even put a little top hat on him there for you. And a monocle.
I love that. Look at that. One of his legs is already broken, so
Yes.
we can just take him right out back. Just skip all the good stuff.
Oh, no. So, Fiber, you said that this was a specifically hard week. Was there anything
Goodness,
extra
yes.
rough going on?
Well, I've been trying to get a degree at night,
Sure.
just while I'm not ruling the underground hordes, and it hasn't been going well. I haven't told anyone this yet, but I actually didn't get accepted to University of the Phoenix, and I don't know what else to do. I kind of feel like I've hit rock bottom.
Shouldn't they just let you? I mean, you're a queen. Like Usador, you have some connections there.
Yes, of course I do. I can put in a good word there if you'd like.
I just don't want to get it that way. You know what I
You
mean?
wanna
Like
earn it,
I want to
sure.
earn it. Yeah, I want to get
course.
in there with my own grimy little hands and just tear it up myself. You know? Yeah.
Sure.
I want to learn about socioeconomics on a micro level because once again, that small
Love
stuff
that
just
small
gets me.
stuff. Sure.
Yeah,
Absolutely. You know what? Let's take a quick break and refresh our drinks. What do you want to drink, by the way?
Oh, I would love just a pint of ale. I'm trying to be, just one of the guys.
One of the
today.
guys.
Yes,
All right.
yes.
What do you want, Usador?
I'll have a mead.
And Trent, what do you want?
King's juice.
Great. I'm going to have a red potion. I know I was taking everyone's orders, but I don't have any money. I spent all my
get
money
it.
last week.
Hi there, I'm Alabaster Camerdan of Alabaster Camerdan's Adult Coffins for Adults. You might be wondering, what is an adult coffin? It's not a sex thing. Why do people ask that all the time? We specialize in coffins for humans, adult-sized humans. Did you know that as many as some people don't die before adulthood? When your loved ones die peacefully after long, fulfilling lives, they are larger than a child and have not been torn limb from limb. They won't fit into a child-sized coffin, and you can't pack their limbs into a barrel. But that doesn't mean they don't deserve a dignified burial. I started adult coffins after my father died of natural causes. No one expected him to die suddenly and in one piece, so we weren't ready. That meant he had to be buried in a child-sized coffin. They really crammed him in there. So come on down to Alabaster Camerdan's Adult Coffins for Adults for a free consultation and find out about the alternatives to manually dismembering your loved ones and spreading them out across several burial plots.
All right, great. Whew. I got to say, I feel really refreshed. I love this red potion. I've started taking it. Since I've been doing my dungeoneering to get the Lunar Sword is exhausting. So this red potion really picks you up.
Yes, it's delicious stuff. Really a good picker up. Does anyone else need something to eat? I brought up some pork shanks for the table.
Are you all right, Usador? You seem bummed.
Oh, pork shanks remind me of
Ribs.
ribs.
Oh, yeah.
How I do love Genlevia.
What did you do with those ribs?
Everything.
Oh, I mean,
Did you smoke them? You put a rub?
You better believe it, baby.
after you discovered they were ribs.
Oh, I ate them.
Oh, yeah, that would not be my choice. All right, hey,
Wait, come on.
different strokes for different folks.
If you come into your room and you see a pile of
You would
ribs,
eat a rack of ribs.
Come
That's
on.
the biggest lie I've
Sure,
ever heard in my life.
absolutely, I would eat a rack of ribs, but not one that I just spent a weekend having intercourse with.
What? Oh, right. Yes, I did.
No,
that.
yeah,
I
yeah.
forgot.
I just think it's beautiful you found love.
Yeah,
Thank you so much.
Yes.
What about yourself?
yeah.
Fibro?
Do you have love in your life?
Do you-
Oh
dish.
God, no.
No goblin princes that sit by you on the throne?
In my day, there were one or two suitors that maybe came a knocking upon the old metal slab against the cave door, but not anymore. No.
Was that a euphemism? But keep going.
No. I would never call my, area a cave, even though I do like to keep it stalactite.
Oh, well. It's
but-
always back.
I will say, though, I'm open to looking for the possibility of finding, maybe pursuing love.
Oh, what's like a perfect date for you?
Something simple, you know what I mean? Like maybe go watch someone get embalmed or flayed or, quartered and drawn or drawn and quartered rather. Anything like that. I'm very simple tastes. And then just, maybe back home, to have very loud sex so my parents can hear.
Sure.
Yeah.
Oh, I have so many follow-up questions.
Oh, please.
First of all, just a comment. I've got to say, it's great for a first date. You don't want to put too much pressure on it. Go and watch a horrible torture so you don't have to be talking the whole time.
Exactly, yeah.
Exactly.
And then afterwards, you can share your thoughts on how you thought the torture went.
Exactly. You're like, oh, that was not the best torture, but, I'm glad we saw it together.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the canon of this torturer's, work.
Yeah, exactly.
And
Where does this fall?
You can tell so much about how someone will raise a future goblin child with you by what they think of how someone tortured someone
Sure.
else, you know?
And there's no, I'm personally not a fan of torture, but I have to imagine that seeing a torture with a big crowd makes it more
it's
of
a
an
different
event.
experience. Yeah, you got to be on the floor, get the blood in your face.
If you're not a fan of torture, why do you keep making this podcast?
I saw that one coming. But going back to my other question, your parents, you mentioned your parents a couple times. So you're queen of the goblins, but your parents are still alive. I guess I don't really know how royalty in the goblin society works.
Yes, it's quite confusing. The lineage is actually not through your parents.
Oh.
It is through your aunts and uncles.
Oh.
So it's kind of like a lateral, L or 7 move. Like if we're on a chessboard, if you were a knight,
Yeah.
that's how you become the queen or king.
Oh, wow.
Do they have chess on Earth?
We do, which it sounds like it's at least a moderately similar game.
Yes, knights move in an L, as Fibro just described, and then bishops move on the diagonal, and the king can only move one space. The queen can go wherever she wants. And then the rooks, they just move up and down, and the pawns, there are pawns on the front row, and the pawns, they can move one space at a time, and they can move over and take someone, and then if they get to the other end, they set the whole board on fire.
Oh,
Yes.
wow.
And of course, the whole thing is played, of course, I'm sure it's like this on Earth, and just an open man's chest cavity.
Oh.
So you just play right on the
Open
chest.
Mike will host a lot of games.
Oh, wow. So he opens his chest,
Yeah.
and you play it. Oh,
You play
wow.
chest, yeah.
Chest.
Yes.
Oh, it's chest. Not.
Yes.
Oh, I've been pronouncing it wrong.
Oh, the T is silent.
Yeah,
the T is-
we don't pronounce the T.
Yeah.
I see. Okay, I have one more question about chess. Is what's a bishop in Foon?
There's a type of person that's an artificial person. It's just an artificial person. You run into them very rarely, but they look sort of normal, but they're sort of stiff and they're a little bit weird. And you're like, what's up with that guy?
Wow, you're not looking good, Holmes.
Yes, exactly.
So, your aunt or uncle died.
Yes, yes.
You became queen.
My aunt died. I became queen. I took over after Encephaly, of course.
Yeah, but it takes the
Caved in.
pressure. It takes the pressure off of you to have kids as royalty, then, right?
It does, but it puts the pressure back on my poor deformed sister to have
yeah.
children. If I have to get out of this, she's gonna need to pop out a few puppies.
Yeah.
Yes.
Now, Fibro,
Yes.
I don't mean to put any pressure on you, but there has recently been a death amongst the royals of Foon.
Yeah.
And would you ever consider marrying outside of the Goblin realm
I knew this was coming.
to form some sort of alliance with another kingdom?
Usador, you sound just like my mother.
Oh, I'm
Like
sorry, I
that,
don't-
first of all.
I don't mean to put any pressure, just curious.
No. I have thought about it, and, I guess it's hard to let someone into your cave. And no, I'm not talking
Not a
about
euphemism.
my
Okay,
vagina.
not a euphemism.
Into your home, into your hearth, and it's hard to do that.
This might seem obvious to me, but if you were to marry someone outside of the Goblin realm, why would they come live with you? Why wouldn't you just go live with them? Why would they go to your cave? I mean,
I would never.
It's gross in there.
I would never move out from underground.
Never, ever?
No.
Never ever?
Where would I get tin and aluminum and palladium just at a moment's notice?
She's got a point.
You could have people bring it to you. You could just stockpile it.
No. I'm a doer, not a delegator.
Do you do a lot of your own mining?
I do. I still
Wow.
mine. I still mine every day.
That's impressive.
Yeah.
That's
Wow.
noble, but you know what? If you're gonna lead, you got to learn to delegate. That's an important part.
I know. I just don't. It all comes down to me just not believing in myself. I need to either just step up to the plate or go home. And by
Hold
the
on one
plate,
second. I'll be right back.
Oh, you start.
You should believe in yourself. You're great. Here, high five, bro.
I've never high-fived a badger before.
If you did believe in yourself, what would you do? What would you like to accomplish for the goblins that you feel like you're incapable of accomplishing for the goblins?
I just feel like goblins don't get a fair shake. You know, people see us and they're like, oh, they're hideous and they're just so slimy and gross looking. But there's so much more like awfulness inside of us that no one even ever gets a chance to see.
You're tired of them focusing on the surface grossness.
Yeah, we have just like terrible things going on all over in our hearts and our brains, not just on our skin, not in our boils, our pus-filled, just terrible, like ready to pop boils.
Speaking of which, here's a napkin.
Okay, thank you so much. I'm so sorry about that.
Usador.
Fibromyalgia, queen of the goblin hordes of the underground, I grant unto thee this rock of confidence.
Wow.
Whene'er thou dost hold this rock in thine hand, thou shalt feel a surge of confidence like you have never felt before.
Oh my goodness. A man has told me this before, but I've never really felt that way when I touched his rocks in the end. I feel different, I do. I can feel it working.
Oh, good, Arnold. This rock is total BS.
Oh my God, I feel so much more confident I could do anything.
Wow.
All the other rocks are real, though.
I am going to usurp the throne. You know what? Yes,
Wait, what?
Foon does need a leader that knows what's going on, and the goblins have been living underground in the shadows for too long. I am going to take over Foon. With my hordes and with our pillaging and our murdering, we will turn Foon into a world of waste.
So, if I'm hearing you right, you're saying that since the King of the North is dead, there's a bit of a power vacuum. Might be a good time for your underground hordes to rise up and take over all of it.
I think you're hearing me exactly right, Arnie.
Can I see that rock again, just real quick?
No. I believe this stays within my palms until the end of my life, and then when I'm brought back to life, I'll put it back in my palm, and then when I'm brought back to life after that time, I'll put it back in my palm.
How many times does a goblin, do goblins ever, they keep coming back, is there ever like a cutoff point where it's like, that's enough of that goblin?
It feels like there should be like a term limit on it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Sort of a thing. There's not.
There used to be 12 regenerations, and then they just thought,
because you're like,
why are we limiting
12? We're never going to get to 12.
What an arbitrary number.
Yeah.
I think they changed it was 12, and then they're like, well, they made the baker's dozen 13, so we'll pop it up one more.
Right.
And then it felt so silly.
It's just silly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And then when it got expanded past that, you're like, I feel like there was an explanation. It doesn't really make sense, but I want it to happen, so I'll just go with it.
I'm done talking about this.
Well, Queen Fibromyalgia, thank you so much for joining us.
Oh, thank you so much.
I'm a little unsettled that once again we may have accidentally unleashed something really terrible on the whole world of Foon.
I feel like everything's going to work out great for me.
Yeah. Gosh, false confidence, not a good thing.
The rock's not real.
It doesn't matter.
She's going to lose one. She'll be fine.
Yeah, all right. Well, guys, we've been continuing to get a lot of packages shoved through the portal behind the tavern, and it's awesome, and I'm very appreciative. And if you send us something and we don't get around to mentioning it, please know that we get every package and that we really appreciate all of them, unless by chance they get lost in the mail or something and we don't get them. But just assume that we do get all of them. Let's quickly go through some of the stuff people sent us this week.
Let's see. We got a very large box of candy here from Ken Schenkman. From a bulk candy store. Dear Foon, friends, and Arnie. Your podcast has given me many hours of entertainment and educated me about a new land. I wanted to thank you for that. I know that you have talked a bit about candy bars from Earth, so I thought it would be a good idea for you to try some other types of Earth candy. Since I happen to own a candy store, bulkcandystore.com, I have included a selection for you. Enjoy, Ken Schenkman.
That's awesome. Speaking of candy, we also got, and gosh, I'm so sorry, I can't find who it's from. Someone sent us Kinder Happy Hippo Cocoa Cream. That's fun to say. Kinder Happy Hippo Cocoa Cream.
20,000 roaring orcs.
20,000
roaring orcs!
And it's these cool little hippo candies.
I also received a book, which was very nice. It's called On Grief and Grieving by Elizabeth Kubler-Ross. What are those two little dots above that letter?
Kubler, is she one of the Kubler elves?
Oh, that's an umlaut.
An umlaut.
And what are the
Umlaut.
What are the Kubler elves?
They're these tiny elves. They live in trees. They They make food.
I don't believe it.
Nobody's seen them in a
No,
while.
I don't believe they exist.
Hi, Usador. I'm Haley, a therapist on Earth. I'm so sorry to hear about Chunt's terminal curse. Don't worry, we cured it. I hope Arnie's potion works. Potion? But if Fu forbid... Oh, the goddess, she's invoking the name of the goddess. But if Fu forbid the worst happens, maybe this book will help. It's a classic on Earth. With love, Haley. Thank you so much, Haley.
Thank you, Haley.
There is so much death in this world. I'm sure that I will use this book often, and as soon as Arnie is dead, I plan on reading it.
And Chunt, what are the Kubler elves again?
There are these little elves that live in trees.
That makes me angry.
Hey, Arnie.
Yeah?
I reached into that box of candy, and I pulled out a bag of Pop Rocks.
Oh, wow.
Can I dump this on a rock?
No, you actually put that in your mouth.
That doesn't seem right.
You want to pop a rock? See, I grew up with Pop Rocks. I love them. You put them in your mouth and they make sounds. And I never thought about until now, Pop Rocks sounds kind of dirty.
Why?
It sounds dirty in about 2 different ways.
Anyway, I received a package here from Celia Cleveland with a pile of notes, but they're sticky on one side, but they're all the same underneath. They all seem to be stuck together. It says high five. You're a... And then there's an option for champ, star, hero, or okay person. She has crossed an X next to star and okay person. Now, in the package, she has included a Snickers for Chunt, a magic rock for Usador, this high five,
cocaine?
and this high five for you, Arnie. You rock. See what she did there?
A little Post-it note. I have a couple extra Post-it notes, so now I have Post-it notes that I can somehow use on my quest to get the lunar sword. Sean, I have a question for you.
Sure.
What are the Kubler elves?
There are these elves that live in trees.
If I give you this coin, can you make it so that doesn't exist? Hey, I also have a package. Another package here. These are little golden slippers, like little ballet slippers. Something that we needed. We're getting a lot of people sending us stuff to try to save you, Chun. It got here a little late, but luckily we saved you anyway. But they says, hi, Arnie. I'm Hallie from Portland, Oregon. I'm deeply saddened by Chun's predicament, but maybe there's still a chance. Enclosed, please find a slipper as pure as gold. Well, at least it's very gold. With hope, Hallie. I don't know why this
believe
almost
she's the
makes
Same
me...
Hallie that's...
I think she's the same one that sent me the book.
Oh, really?
Yes.
and she sent us something last week.
Hallie, thank you so much. I don't know why. Maybe it's because it reminds me of
Is everyone on Earth named Hallie?
very few people. But you know what? For some reason, this kind of chokes me up. It reminds me of the little gold baby booty of my daughters that I had to lose to save Chunt. But I guess I have these now. Thank
Baby
you so
booty
much.
sounds dirtier than Pop Rocks.
Oh,
Thanks for
you're
listening to Butthole
You're
Weekly.
a pervert. Hey, Chunt, I have a question for you. What are the Kubler elves?
What is this?
But what are they?
They're elves that live in trees.
I accept it. I accept it. I've come to accept it.
What do you mean you've come?
So much wonder, so much fantasy, and Arnie. But lest we forget, none of that really happened. Usador, the adult education class on putting together your VO demo reel, was played by Matt Young. Chunt, the black hole where enthusiasm goes to die, was played by Adil Rafai. Fibromyalgia, the queen of the goblins, was played by special guest Kelsey Kinney. Kelsey currently performs on the Second City main stage. That's right, Chicago comedy lemmings. Kelsey made it, so ask yourself, what have you been doing wrong? And Alabaster Camerdan was played by Tommy Morangis. Tommy is the co-creator of the game Secret Hitler, and the author of the book Descartes Meditations, Bro, which you can get on Amazon or philosophybro.com/book. There's no dignified way to say /. Craig, I'm going to spend a few moments in my shame closet. It's all you.
Oh, that's never good. Hello from the Magic Tavern was produced by Arnie Niekamp, Evan Jacover, and Ryan DiGiorgi. This one edited by Ryan DiGiorgi. Music by Andy Poland. Logo by Allard Laban. Additional audio effects by Jason Knox. Production assistance by Garrett Schultz. Visit us at hellofromthemagictavern.com or on Facebook or Twitter. You also might notice we're featured on iTunes at the moment. Might be a good time to get your friends to try us out, huh? Get those numbers up? Yeah, all right. Thanks to the Chicago Podcast Co-op and Earwolf. Oh, and Matt Young, aka Usador, is on Our Fair City, Season 7, Episode 4. That's the July 5th episode. And he's also on Siblings Peculiar, Episode 13, also July 5th. So if you need some Matt in your life, there you go. I don't know if you do.
Craig, based on these stains in my shame closet, have you been secretly trying to mate with a rack of ribs?
You put me in there with the ribs and hid my clothes.
Hello. This is Nagin Farsad, the host of Fake the Nation, where we talk about politics, we talk about news, and we have a laugh.
We were laughing.
Every week, a cast of my funniest, smartest, and most politically astute friends, people like John Fugelsang, Liz Winstead, Dean Obidala, and others, tackle all the major issues like climate change.
America leads the world in people who think climate change is fake, but pro wrestling is real.
Guns!
I started calling the NRA the AK-47%.
Filibuster? I don't even know her. Okay, that's not a major issue, but it's a really great pun. Guys, Fake the Nation is all the comedy about politics without any of the politics about politics.
Fake the Nation!
This has been an Earwolf production, executive produced by Scott Ackerman, Adam Sachs, and Chris Bannon. For more information and content, visit earwolf.com.